Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Morris of Mobile Pirate Radio. Thanks so much for joining me today. I have a special guest, Mr. Tre Williams, who is the manager of the Crescent Theater, and he's going to tell us his story, side of the story about what's going on with the Crescent Theater.
Yeah, the Crescent Theater, I've always had interest in it. I loved it, and especially coming from the film background and the working with film festivals in the past, and I felt that Mobile having a theater downtown would be a great thing, especially for film festivals and people coming in and not having to drive far because a lot of the theaters closed down.
Right.
So with that being downtown, it should be open.
A lot of downtown clientele there, right?
A lot of downtown clientele, and I'm going to tell you, just in this time that I've had it, just the experience of seeing everybody come by there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we're so glad this is open. We're so glad this is open. And then you step outside. Oh, the Crescent is open. Oh, are you guys showing movies? I mean, I would get some of everything. And I would even get people walk in just to come in and say, please, we just hope this stays open. We just really hope this stays open. I get this all day, every day. And so the thing, once I had that feeling, I put a lot into it. A lot of people that know me down there, I was almost 3 months straight, morning to night, in there working. Never missed a beat.
Mm-hmm.
Morning to night, working to get everything in place to make this what people would like to have. And I wanted to, get certain films because I wanted to have a like a diverse selection of films. You do some first runs. People were saying, oh, I don't have to go all the way up there to go see Superman. Oh, I'm gonna come see Superman right here. I just live like 2 blocks away. And the day before it was closed, the ladies that came to watch the Superman, after they watched the Superman, they say, hey, we're gonna talk to everybody at work and see if we can have a longer lunch break. For future movies, so that they can have longer lunch breaks, so they can come watch a movie and go back to work. So that right there told me that these people love this Crescent. I've always heard that there was a theater downtown that my grandfather used to go to, but for a while I thought that was the one, but it wasn't. There was another theater, right? I think it's like a couple of doors from Debris, the Debris restaurant right there on the corner.
Okay.
Right across from, right before you get so you have the Cathedral Park right here. It's Caddy Corner.
Right.
There's a little bar right there on the end, and then I think there's Debris, and then there's a 509 Club. So for what was told to me, there was an alley in the back that they used to access that theater. That's where that theater used to be. So there used to be a theater back there. It wasn't the Crescent Theater, because I always thought it was the Crescent Theater. But somebody said, no, it's that, it used to be behind, because it was a back alley that you would go into this theater.
I wonder if anybody out there knows what the name of this mysterious theater is.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I really would like to know the facts.
Yeah.
But like I say, I was corrected, and I heard from someone else that said the same thing. The Crescent wasn't that theater that that my grandfather was going to. They were going to this other theater right down the street. It used to be a theater right behind that little club thing. It's a club now. So
okay.
But yeah, now as far as the Crescent Theater, I started putting a lot of things in place, because I knew Amtrak was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was working out on getting some type of partnership with Amtrak.
Awesome.
Because those people coming from New Orleans.
Sure. Need something to do?
Yep. They need something to do. They get off the train. They see the movie. A lot of the patrons that were coming into that movie theater wasn't from Mobile. a lot of those people that came in, oh, we're from Colorado. Oh, we're from Miami. Or we from Texas, you know. And we were just passing through. And because, like, if they're going from Texas to Florida, we get a lot of, traffic.
Interstate traffic.
Yep, interstate traffic.
Right.
And they stop at Mobile. And they stop to go get something to eat. And the first place they go is go downtown Mobile because they don't go far from the highway.
Right, right.
So a lot of people that I've had people to come in and just donate tickets. They'll come in and say, hey, you know, we're just stopping in. We saw the Crescent Theater on the internet and we wanted to come by and we bought 3 tickets and just give them to somebody.
Wow.
You know.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So the bottom line, I had no negative response from anybody about that theater. All I would get was like, just please, whatever you do, just keep it open, keep it open, keep it open, you know. So in order to keep it open, I came up with plans. One, like we were putting together a film festival with my connections in LA. And we were actually going to create, because in LA, I'm partners with a nonprofit called the Los Angeles Media and Technology Academy of Media and Technology. So as we collaborated, they said, okay, what do you have in Mobile? And I said, well, we really don't have anything in Mobile. And so we said, okay, well, so we were doing some research to see how we can franchise that particular the nonprofit. So we would create the Mobile Academy of Media and Technology.
So that would be something because there's nothing like that in town. I've checked.
Yeah, nothing like that. So these were the plans that I had, and like I say, we literally were working on that. You know, we were getting all the paperwork from Alabama, getting that stuff in, and getting the documentation so that we had that nonprofit there. Now, what that would have done was, you know, kids that have some kind of interest. And even if they don't have an interest, because see, when I went off to college, I didn't have interest in, I had no idea I would have been in film. I had no idea I would have been in the television field. I was going to school for architecture. You know, that's what I went to school for. Mm-hmm. So I look at the same thing with kids. Okay, these kids have no idea what they're going to do. I look at my daughter, my 14-year-old daughter. She's changed so many things of what she wants to be in life, which is normal, you know, which is normal. Right. But when you find something that you like, they focus on it, you know. Right. So these kids, they love media. So why don't we teach them that media? So the one program that I had in place was to show them how to make a film from paper, from development to planning,
screenplay,
to shooting,
props, all that,
editing, and then watching it on the movie screen.
Wow.
Because what that would do, I mean, and honestly, I had the YMCA there. They came out, I mean, they had like maybe 20, 30 kids. They came to the theater. This was like a few days ago. Uh-huh. And to see the kids, you know, they light up when they talked about Superman. Wow. And then some kids, like some of the boys were coming out like, I'm Superman, you know, all of this. So they were engaged in that. So now you take that same kid and you say, hey, what if you were to make your own superhero movie, you know? Hey. Oh, how would you do that? How do you, okay, that's available, you know? So those were the things that we, you know, we were putting together for the Crescent Theater. And the reason why I was confident, and I told people, it's not gonna close. I told a lot of people it's not gonna close, you know, because I acquired it. I acquired I acquired the license and everything for the Crescent Theater. Crescent Theater LLC, Miniflix. So, and the reason why I did that is because I wanted to stay focused, because I love the Crescent has a name. That Crescent name in Mobile means a lot. So I felt that the Crescent deserved a bigger, you know, a bigger meaning. here in Mobile. You know, you got a film festival. You got people coming in from out of town. That's a landmark. You know.
Right.
Secondly, they provide a place for kids to, and I'm not even just saying kids, but they can be teenagers, they can be high schoolers. You know, they come in and learn the art of media. You know.
So
media and
do they have to pay for this?
No, they wouldn't have to pay for it.
Well, who would be paying for all
Well, I mean,
that? Instruction, equipment?
these are things that I will be addressing with the city council.
Okay.
You know, that's what the plan, because I was actually on the agenda for Tuesday with the city council.
Okay.
So to kind of discuss some ideas as far as bringing some things for kids, because like I say, when they brought the van load of those kids from the YMCA, and you know, it was just kind of moving to me to see the eyes of those kids, and you see that you wonder what they're gonna be, you wonder what life is gonna do for them.
And if you can have a positive influence on these children while they're young,
Right.
then that can last a lifetime.
Yep. And I'm a product of that. You know, when I grew up, you know, I wasn't the best kid, you know.
Hey.
I went through a lot until I found my talent. My talent was high jump. I couldn't play basketball because I was ineligible in middle school. But the coach saw me dunking at the age of, in 5th grade. You know, I would be in the gym, you know, dunking, you know, doing 360s, because Jordan was big back then.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted to be like Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was out, you know, dunking in the 5th grade. So the coach wanted to put me on the basketball team, but found out I wasn't eligible because I got suspended. You know, so that messed up my eligibility. But he said, "Hey man, you got some height. Let's see if we can get you on the track team." And I said, "Okay." So he said, let's see how you do on the high jump." I did the high jump, undefeated. Every single track meet, undefeated. You know.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, tell me, who is the city councilman for that district where the theater's at?
That's going to be William Carroll.
William Carroll. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you have spoke to him, huh?
Yeah, he actually came to one of the events we had at the theater, and I got to meet him. I got to talk to him, you know, but it was just about other things. He was asking about the theater, and we talked about other things. He says, "Hey, I got to bring my wife out here, and we got to watch some movies," you know. And I said, "Hey, man, you're welcome."
Well, during this election season, it's
Right.
fixing to really kicked
Yes.
into high gear now.
Right.
Have you spoken to any like the mayoral candidates that are running for mayor of Mobile?
Paul Prime.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We went to Viger together.
Is that right?
Yep, we went to Viger.
All three of us went to Viger together.
Yep,
How about
yep.
that?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So now the one thing I know, you know, and I'm not. These are just my things. Paul has been a good guy, you know, from high school all the way through, you know. Like I said, I've been gone for a little over 30 years, but even coming back, you know, he's still the same Paul Prime, you know.
He's real. He'll talk to
Yeah.
you, not at you like a lot of
yeah.
politicians do.
And he was there too when I met William Carroll. He was there,
Okay.
and the one thing he had to correct me on. Okay, so he wanted a bottle of water,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I was at the concession
Right.
stand, and I said, "Oh man," he says, "No." He pulled out his money and paid for it,
That's all right.
and I said, "Okay, yeah, I got that."
That's all right.
You know,
That's
and that meant a lot right there.
That's keeping it real.
You know, and then from that point on, for me as learning that, you know, from that point on, that was my thing. I gotta pay. When I go to Kazula's and get a cigar, even though Mark's my friend, I still pay him for that
There
cigar.
you go. That's got to be straight up.
Yeah.
But look at here. Did you ever sign a contract of any kind with Mr. Switzer?
The document that I signed,
Or was it just a handshake?
no, it was okay. So what I signed is a. Let me find it. It might take me a minute, but I did sign an agreement for the facility. And so our agreement was that we would treat the building as an event center. Okay, you know, so the events are like any, you know, like we had the Joe Louis thing, we had a couple of Joe Louis events. So basically all I was doing was arranging, you know, like events there and whether it's movies and whether it was whatever. So, because he had already had an engagement with a group prior to me. So they had a lease agreement, you know. So I was more
Film Society?
not the Film Society, it's some company, the Fourth Wall, Fifth Wall, or something like that. Yeah, and they were supposed to be doing some kind of, you know, LED screens in the building and stuff like that, but nothing ever transpired out of that.
Well, let me ask you this, Mus. After speaking with Mr. Switzer today earlier, full disclosure, folks, he said you never could get insurance for the place.
No, I got insurance for the place. I would have to get event insurance because, see, he would not provide me a lease. I kept asking him for a lease, and and there's a text that said that he was going to, because see, in order for me to protect, you know, everything, I got to have a lease in order for the insurance to, you know.
That makes sense, yeah.
But if I don't have a lease, all I can do is go per event, you know, and like I say, it's about $120, $150, you know, per event.
Well, Tre, Mr. Williams, it sounds like you got some pretty good ideas for the Crescent Theater in the future that could very well turn out to be a good thing.
Right.
What do you think it would take to settle the dispute and keep the Crescent Theater open?
Well, the one thing that I feel is that, I mean, what really transpired, you know, was I have contracts with the comedy, you know, the Comedy Mobile, so there were already contracts in place. So what they actually did is, from day one, I felt that they wanted to take that place. They were like, oh wow, this is what we need for comedy. This is what we need, you know. And oh, who owns it? Who? I said, well, you know, there's already a deal in place, you know. But they kept, well, who owns it, you know? And so anyway, they went behind me, and I guess got in touch with John, or however, vice versa. They worked the deal out. They worked some kind of deal out
On the side.
on the side, and that's when John came to me the day before yesterday, and he says, man, I love what you did to the place. I mean, you got everything working, it's clean, but I hate to be a bearer of bad news. I need the keys by the 31st of this month. And I'm like, when you dump that on me like that, it's like, I'm thinking of all the stuff that I have in place. I have contracts with studios. I haven't shown Superman for 2 days, which I'm on contract with Warner Brothers to show that movie. And if I'm not reporting anything back, then that's a breach of contract.
Oh, Lord.
So now also I got the Fantastic Four coming. Now I paid for that. Disney charges for that. So I paid for that. So where I'm really, and so for the comedy show, and I'm gonna tell you what they did on that. You know, for him to make that deal, they were doing that to avoid the contracts I already had in place with the Comedy Mobile. Because see, all those contracts requires that the Crescent Theater gets a concession guarantee of $500.
Okay.
So which means that when you had that show, you know.
I understand.
Yeah.
Getting in the...
Right, okay.
Okay, well, where was I going to go with this? As it stands right now, the place is closed. He's got it chained up and locked. And all he told me is that you couldn't get insurance, and he can't be responsible for anything happening in an event, something happens.
Right.
So anyway, we got this side of the story of it. Possibly speak again to Mr. Switzer. He was going to have coffee next week with him, as a matter of fact, full disclosure.
Right.
I said, okay, I'd be glad to. I'll see if we can get him on video, and we'll see if we can't come up to a mutual understanding and agreement and open the theater back up, because it sure sounds like you got some great ideas, especially for the young folks.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Williams, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
Oh, no problem.
Here at Mobile Pirate Radio, MPR, not NPR, but MPR, Be sure to like and share, folks. Share it with somebody that you really like or somebody you don't like. It don't matter. Just share it. I'm Rob Morris, Mobile Pirate Radio, and thank you for joining us.
All right.
All right.